Good evening, everyone. So before I introduce myself, I'm tired. There's a king on the throne. What are we under here? Are my shoes and socks. That's it. Please don't ask me again. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Sean. I'm Kaylee's dad. And I'm going to get emotional. So I've been told that we seem to speak quite fast, and our American friends don't really understand us. So even though I'm speaking English, I'm going to slow down. I've also told that I've got a couple of minutes to say my speech, which is quite unusual. I'm married. Normally after 30 seconds I get interrupted. So bearing in mind that I'm in my 50s, I'm going to apologize up front. If I'm not politically correct, if I misgender anyone, or I hurt anyone's feelings, I'm sorry. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to stand before you today as a father of the bride. We celebrate the union of my daughter and Anthony. I'm so proud. So firstly, I want to welcome you all to this wonderful setting for Anthony and Kaylee's wedding. I want to welcome everyone that took the time to come out here, to be away from their schedules, to be away from their homes, their families, and other friends to attend this wonderful event. I want to thank all of you that traveled to be here today. However, that's all of us. Cindy and Lance, thank you for being the only local ones that are here. One thing that makes this wedding so special is that so many of you have traveled across the globe to be here today. We've got friends and family from America and Europe, and in particular Renee, Kaylee's mom, and Gabby, who flew in from Ireland, and of course, from right here in South Africa, our SAFA friends. And of course, our SAFA families. For those of you who don't know, these aren't our friends, these are our family. That's why they're here. It's truly amazing how love can bring people together from all around the world to be here. I want to also remember those who couldn't be here for whatever reason, and I'm sure their thoughts were with the bride and groom today. But to all Americans here today, welcome to deepest and darkest Africa. I'm sure most of you are a little bit shocked to see we are quite westernized. And I can assure you see why we stay and live in this beautiful country. As Kaylee's dad, I now want to take a moment to reflect on the life of my daughter that's led up to this point. She's been a kind, compassionate, and open-minded person. These are qualities that I know will make an amazing wife and mother. And again, Kaylee is the only genuine African American I know. Kaylee is the eldest of my 3 children. She came into my life on the 18th of September 1997, and that day my life as on earth changed forever. Kaylee was an easy baby, very family-orientated young lady. It started when she was a couple of years old, and we decided to go out to a function, and we left her with her Auntie Cindy. Myself and Renee had just reached our function when Cindy phoned and insisted that we come home. Kaylee had not stopped screaming since we had left. We promptly left our function and arrived back home to find Kaylee in a chair facing the back door, sobbing. And after that, she went with us everywhere. She loved going to school, but not for the reasons most of us go to school. When Kaylee went to school, academics were secondary. she went to school for sport, athletics and netball, which was her forte. And for the Americans, netball's like basketball, just better. Kaylee really shined in his sports. And I must say that throughout her school career, I don't think I never ever missed one game. Kaylee really made good friends at school, 3 of whom are here today. The fact that the 3 of you are here speaks volumes of the type of friendship that you have. Kaylee then went to a school called Waterstone, and she decided to become a swimmer. And because she was on a scholarship, it seemed that the school and Kaylee felt that she had to stand in if someone never made it to the game or if they were short of someone. I got 2 stories of Kaylee at Waterstone standing in. The first one was she decided to become the goalkeeper of the school soccer side. I don't think Kaylee knew what a soccer ball looked like. And that day they lost 12-0. And Kaylee stood in the middle of the goals and sobbed her eyes out that she had let her team down. And we tried to explain to her that it wasn't her. There's another 10 people in the team that probably let her down. But that was the way Kaylee was. She had let her team down. And I think Taylor would love this one. They put her into a swimming event, and it was a 200-meter breaststroke or crawl. Now, 200 meters in a swimming pool is a lot of laps. And Kaylee was like, well, I'm going to do it at my speed. The race ended, and Kaylee was still swimming. For quite a couple of laps thereafter, that it got so bad that the judges were arguing as to whether the girl and the girl that came second had actually swam enough laps because Kaylee was so far behind. But that was Kaylee. She persevered and she just did what she had to. So one of the things that really stands out for me is Kaylee's independence and her financial independence. When her brother Duncan was playing soccer, out came a table. She'd set up her jewelry or her shoes or whatever she could sell, and whatever she could make money out of, she would do it. When Kaylee got her first car, apart from the tank of fuel that car came with, she never ever asked me for money. She wasn't scared of hard work, and the only thing Kaylee hated in her life was counting O-rings. For those of you that know Kaylee well, you would have met her blankie, which I'm sure is here somewhere. That blanket came from Kaylee's gran, my mum. It was used to cover her when she was born. That blanket has traveled everywhere with Kaylee. I can't describe what it eventually ended up looking like. 26 years later, she eventually lost it. A couple of months ago in Miami. And just when we hoped it was gone, she still had a piece in safekeeping. Kaylee has had opportunity to travel extensively. She's explored different cultures around the world. It's enhanced her love for life and made her the well-rounded person she is today. In America, she's probably been to more states than most Americans. After school, Kaylee started studying, and after a couple of months, she came to me and said she wanted to leave and she wanted to travel. As a dad of a 19-year-old that was studying, it wasn't going to happen. To make it hard for her, I told her she had to finish studying, and anyway, I wouldn't pay for her to go. If she wanted, she had to pay herself. Much to my dismay, she came back about 2 weeks later and told us that she's going to America. All we had to do was help her with her visa. She had organized everything, and she was going to go au pair. It is at this stage that two people So it's at this stage that two people that had a profound impact on Katie's life came into the picture. And sitting here today are two people that I have to thank from the bottom of my heart for making her trip to America what it is and would later become. Without them, today wouldn't be happening. It's Tyson and Steph, table 7. This is the couple that Kaylee went au pair. I knew that one day after Kaylee had left me, that she had chosen wisely. She arrived in America, and they had one hell of a storm. And Kaylee phoned me and said, I cannot travel to Kansas. And the au pair company had sort of left her at the airport. And I phoned Steph, and I said to her, I've never spoken to Steph in my life before. And I phoned Steph, and I told her, this is what has happened. And Steph said to me, Sean, don't worry, Tyson would help. And they organized a hotel, and they organized everything. Tyson and Steph persuaded Katie to stay another year for initial year. And he even looked at getting her to study so that she could stay with him to look after the kids. I went to visit Kaylee, and they even they were graciously enough, allowed me to live in their house when I went over to see Kaylee. Thank you. It's while Kaylee was staying with Tyson and Steph that she met Anthony, and the rest is history. The fact that Tyson and Steph are here today speaks volumes of the relationship that was formed between them and Kaylee. And then Anthony came into my life. I arrived in Kansas to surprise Kaylee for her 21st. She knew nothing of the trip. Between Steph, Tyson, and myself, we kept it from her. Tyson fetched me at the airport, and I gave my daughter what I believed was the best 21st surprise she could ever have received. And during this trip, I got to meet and spend time with Anthony. Even though he was quite quiet, which was unusual for my standard belief in loud Americans, I got to know him. But I think our trip in 2022, when they came here to Marloth Park and the Kruger Park, was where we really got to know each other. He's a bit of a baby when it comes to mosquitoes, but then so is my son Duncan. Straight after this trip, I got to meet Anthony's parents, Rochelle and Mike. I had the privilege of going and spend 2 weeks with us. To both of you, thank you for taking Kaylee into your family. Thank you for treating her like she was your own. It's been a lot easier knowing that Kaylee had a support system so far from home. You have no idea how much easier it has been for me as Kaylee's dad, knowing that you were there. To my son-in-law, Anthony, you scare me. I said it, you scare me. Understand me. I love you more than I'm able to adequately express. But the power and role you have in my daughter's life can strike up more fear in my heart than I've ever been prepared to deal with. You have the ability to help my daughter flourish into the woman that she'll become, or the ability to crush her. Can you possibly understand how scary that is for me? I have high standards for you, and I don't mean that to be a daunting thing. But entrusting my daughter to you is likely the hardest thing I will ever do. She's my baby. She's my firstborn. Raising her was my greatest joy. I know that you're full of integrity and true character, loyal and honest, brave and intelligent. I know you will be with my girl through good and bad times. I know you will eventually be an amazing father, and that my daughter will encourage you in that role. I believe you'll be thoughtful and caring, because I believe that my daughter has chosen wisely. I've done my very best to raise a daughter who will love you wholeheartedly, who understands that marriage isn't a fairy tale, but a true commitment. A covenant that lasts far beyond broken rules or broken hearts. One that isn't to be taken lightly, and something you don't just give up on. I've encouraged her independence and her leadership qualities, but never to give up on maintaining her strength and character. So Anthony, you scare me. Entrusting you with my daughter has been the hardest thing I've ever done. But I'm choosing to believe you'll be the spouse my daughter was called to marry. In closing, eventually, I want to offer some words of wisdom to Anthony. Treat my daughter with respect. Love her unequivocally, and always be there for her when she needs you. She has a heart of gold, and I know that you're the perfect man for her. I have no doubt that together you'll face any challenge that comes your way. And to Katie, my sweet, beautiful girl, I want to say, apparently, I'm proud of you. I love you so much. You've always been my little angel, and I know that you'll have a long and happy life with your husband. I want to also add that Graham Sterling would have been so proud of what you've accomplished. She would have been immensely proud of you. There's one more. So please raise your glasses as we toast to the happiness and love of Anthony and Kaylee. May your hearts always beat as one. May your lives be filled with infinite love, laughter, and beautiful memories. May you see your children's children. May you be poor in misfortunes, rich in blessings. May you know nothing but happiness from this day forward. Malu fala gudla, dabret, fadura gonrop luslang, marun lating gudishi, ladimus, ladinul fulasa. Cheers. Sloncha. Thank you.
I'm not sad, it's tears of joy. Okay, I was told not to speak from the heart, so I wrote something down. It's very short. I'm Kati. I'm the maid of honor for my beautiful friend, Kaylee. I honestly couldn't be more honored to stand beside you today, Kaylee. Okay. Kaylee, since I've known you for the past 6 years, you've been my rock. You've been there for me through thick and thin. And I honestly cannot imagine my life without you. Seeing you building a beautiful life with Anthony has been the greatest joys of my life. And Anthony, thank you for being such an amazing life partner to my friend. wait to see what the future holds for you guys. I really love you, and thank you for being the best godparents for Theodora and Georgie. Love you.
So not a lot of dry eyes out there, I see. So that was amazing. I know I'm cheering up a little bit too. It's just a testament to just how caring and beautiful and joyful this union is, and the people that surround both Kaylee and Anthony. It's a testament to just the quality of their character and those people that have made them to who they are. So. Now we're going to be serving dinner, and I have an announcement for the main course and what we're going to be eating tonight. We had 3 delicious choices. I, for one, had to go with something that was a bit of a regional thing that I wouldn't get back in the middle of Iowa in the United States. The first choice today was the grilled ostrich steak with roasted carrot puree, Duchess potato, green beans, rainbow baby carrots, and a cumin-infused red wine juice. So that's going to be the first choice. The second, and all of your choices have been made, and they're on your placard in front of your table there. If you needed a reminder when you chose. The second one was the lemon paprika marinated chicken supreme, served on a zesty parsley cream mashed potato, roasted baby marrow, cherry tomato topped with preserved lemon and a lemon cream sauce. And then the final selection, the wild mushroom risotto, topped with butter and thyme mushroom and pecorino shavings. So as the food is getting plated and will soon be served, take a note. I think we may have kind of missed we were going to have a look at as the sun sets, but I believe that was a little bit looking at time. But one of the things I've noticed while being here is the sunset each and every day has been absolutely worthy of painting. I know when I first arrived, it's amazing, and just the setting of the mountains. And one thing I have noticed, though, and this is something that is kind of interesting, is all of your birds are very aggressive. They seem to be, singing songs of joy as they're flying with their friends, but they're all very, kind of scary. And some of them seem to have red eyes, as if their eyes are bleeding. And I feel that perhaps that's to counterpoint all the absolutely lovely people here. You have the aggressive birds because everyone is just so friendly. So you have to have something that's mean and rude. So I think if we transpose some of these birds to New York City, you'd have way too much anger with the birds and the people. But it has been a joyful journey, and to be here to celebrate Anthony and Kaylee, and to meet all of my new family, because each of you that I have been so welcoming. So we're all very grateful of all this beautiful joy and happiness. So I think with that, we'll be served.
You all know what this means, right? Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Evan. Pleased to meet you. So, Anthony and I met at Iowa State University, and the specifics of how that happened remain to be debated to this day. Similar to how he met Kaylee, it may have been around 2:30 in the morning. Okay. All right, I'm going to start over from the beginning now. So, I'd rather yell than talk into a mic, but, used to work in a kitchen. So, my name's Evan, and Anthony and I met at Iowa State University, And the details of how we met remain debated to this day. It is probably similar to how him and Kaylee met. 2:30 in the morning, bar closed, something along those lines. We definitely weren't of legal drinking age, but that's nobody's business. Although I'm pretty sure it had something to do with singing along to Fleetwood Mac and clearing out an entire room at a house party. I do remember that being very early on in our friendship. Around the time that we met, the university's slogan was "Choose Your Own Adventure" at Iowa State. And you may find it surprising that our adventure of choice included binge drinking, skipping classes, and scheming ways to crash parties we weren't invited to. I remember one of those parties in particular. There was some enthusiastic quoting of Lord of the Rings that led to Anthony, and admittedly me too, kicking down a 6-foot-tall privacy fence and being asked to leave very unpolitely. You can find me later if you want the details. On the topic of adventures and choices, I have had the privilege of accompanying Anthony and his family for many adventures throughout the years, from tailgates to keggers in the woods to half marathons that I was tricked into signing up for and somehow found a passion for running that I didn't know I had after the fact. We even had some haphazard adventures in Key West that were very poorly planned on my behalf, I admit. I've seen some of Kugel's choices he's made in life pan out, both good and bad. One of which was when he opted to test the structural integrity of the rear window of his parents' SUV. That was a bad choice. But I think one of the best choices he ever made was one that led us here today to South Africa. Okay. In the years I've known Kugel, I've never once seen him excited or nervous to go on a date. I don't think I've ever seen him go on a date before, to be completely honest. Many of you probably know Anthony is not the most outspoken person, unless we're talking about Iowa State athletics. And he's never once told me about a date he was going on before it happened, until he met Kaylee. The day after they met, he reached out to me with excitement and nervousness. He told me about how I've met this amazing woman from South Africa. I'm going on a date with her really soon, and I can't wait for it. He also told me that he spent a very strange amount of time reading the Wikipedia page about South Africa, so that, in his words, I don't sound like a complete idiot. The way he was talking about Kaylee before he even really knew her and really had just met her at an hour of the night where you may not even have remembered meeting a person, I kind of knew she was going to be someone special. When I finally got to meet her, it was very apparent why. Kaylee, you are undoubtedly the perfect match for Anthony. You guys balance each other in many ways, some of which more apparent than others. I've had the honor of seeing you, can't read while I'm looking down. I've had the honor of seeing you both support each other, hold each other accountable, fight, make up, and grow together into something bigger than the sum of its parts. And now, on this adventure here in Stellenbosch, you've made your biggest choice yet. And unfortunately, Francis from the winery stole some of my thunder here, but you'll keep making this choice every day to love each other, to support each other, and to continue growing together on your adventure through marriage. This means you'll be making the best choice of your life every day going forward as you continue to live together. I'm so incredibly proud to be here speaking to you. So let's raise our glasses to new adventures for the lovely couple, to the Kugels.
Hi, I'm Mike Kugel. I'm Anthony's father. And so I was telling Sean earlier that, boy, this is a really good-looking crowd. You wouldn't have a better-looking crowd if you paid people. I thought I'd butt you up first. I would like to kind of talk about how I met Kaylee, how we met Kaylee. So Anthony had graduated college in like 2017, moved down to Kansas City, about 3 hours away from us. And he was there about a year. I think the Johnny Cause thing happened around that time. He asked us to come down and help him kind of furnish his place. So we went to IKEA, bought a bunch of really complex furniture, and brought it back. So we were right in the middle of unpacking, and all of a sudden Anthony says, I'll be right back. And he leaves. And he walks in with Kaylee. This is Kaylee. He had never introduced us to anybody, so this seemed quite notable. So we had some introductions, get to know you, talk. Certain point, though, the furniture wasn't going to assemble itself, so we went right back to it. My son, since he was little, he brings focus, passion, and excellence to everything he puts his mind to. IKEA furniture is not one of those things. So we struggled, we cursed. At a certain point, we realized we installed something backwards and had to kind of reloop. And all of a sudden, thought pops in my head. I look over to Kaylee. Boy, I hope she's not judging us for this. But it turned out okay. We got to know Kaylee after that. She came up and visited us. We came down and visited her. But it wasn't that long. I think it was under 2 years that COVID hit. And as awful as COVID was, and it was worse for other people than it was for us, we were in kind of a good situation. But there was a blessing for us in that our small bubble included Anthony and Kaylee and my daughter Christina, who is also in Kansas City. And we basically spent all the time together. So we didn't make quick trips. We made quick visits. We go out to eat outside in Kansas City when it was barely above freezing. We did Teams calls all the time, figuring out how to score toilet paper somewhere, sharing tips. We played Teams, video games, Jackbox games. We had cook-off contests on Teams. So we really got to know Kaylee during that time, and we really grew to love and appreciate her compassion, her selfless devotion to her friends, her sense of humor, her love of just bringing people together. She's like a social crucible. She just brings people together and really sponsors a lot of interactions and friendships. There's a lot of friendships that wouldn't be there without Kaylee. And so just really appreciate all that. Again, just her selfless love of her friends, and ultimately, and also her forbearance regarding the Iowa State cycle and sports. So appreciate that as well. So really thankful for the support that Kaylee has shown my son, Anthony, as he not only has started up his career, doing well in his career, but thriving in his career. Really appreciative of Anthony's support of Kaylee as she got her college degree and has started her own career. Very appreciative of Sean and Renee and their families. Fantastic people. We couldn't have better in-laws. Really appreciative of being here and continuing to get to know our South African friends and relations. So I really appreciate that. And I guess above all, I'm thankful for my son. He's just a great person. He's turned out into such a great person in spite of sometimes some spotty parenting. And Anthony, I can't put into words how proud I am of you. To Anthony and Kaylee.